Okay, now let's talk about the diaspora people or Kenyans and their cars. Yeah, I'm sure you see it on social media all the time. And by the way, I love cars myself. Yeah, yeah, they like posing with fancy looking cars and driving nice cars. And you might think they do so because they have a lot of money. It's not always the case. Okay, here in this part of the world, cars have a whole different value than they do back home. Back home when you see somebody driving a Mercedes Benz or a BMW, it's because they are rich. They can afford it. Not quite so over here. Here, first of all, a car is a necessity. You need it to move around. You need to go to school, to go to work, and you know. And you don't want to buy an old car because it's very expensive to keep fixing it. So sometimes you go for a fairly new car. The second part of it is that as long as you have a job, you can literally go to a dealership and get a new car on credit. Yeah, and you pay for it over time, which means about 90% of the cars that you see around on social media, they are owned by banks. Yeah, so it's not because we have a lot of money that we buy those cars. It's out of necessity, and the the other thing is the opportunity. Like they can give it to you when you pay over time. Yeah. So next time when somebody asks for $50 and you tell them you don't have money, let them not ask you how come you don't have it and you're driving a nice car. Yeah, those are two different things. Having money and driving a nice car are not necessarily the same thing. Yeah, sometimes we don't have that $50, but we can still drive the car. Okay, I thought you should know that. Yeah, because everywhere people live differently, and that's how they chose to live over here. Yeah, I mean, do I like it? Yes, I do, because I love cars. For me, I do, I really do, and I really do love cars.